Election day is almost here, and I had the opportunity to ask the candidates for U.S. Senate in South Carolina the same 14 questions. I met with Senator Lindsey Graham in our Fox Carolina studios and traveled to Columbia to meet with Jamie Harrison. Here's what they told me about COVID. What do you think about South Carolina's response to COVID, and what have we learned from the pandemic, and what can we take moving forward?
I think our response as a nation wasn't good enough. If we take a look at here in South Carolina, we've had 750,000 folks in this state who have filed for unemployment. 400,000 of them have lost their jobs. Over 150,000 infected with the virus. 3,500 of them have lost their lives, including my Aunt Gladys. Thousands of our small businesses have been closed. No one knew what to expect with this virus. But the one thing that I think is crystal clear at this point in time is that we needed a national response to deal with it. We don't have walls on the border between South Carolina and North Carolina. Folks can come from New York to South Carolina and go from South Carolina to Utah and take the virus with them. And so what we needed to do very early on was to have a stringent plan to deal with the virus, to make sure that we stop the spread of the virus. But what we saw was, because this state had one plan, this state had another plan, it just hopped around. And South Carolina has been in the top 10 of all states dealing with the coronavirus. And then, as it relates to Senator Graham, listen, Senator Graham has talked down this coronavirus from day one. Initially he said, well, if 50,000 people lose their lives, then that would be success. Well, we are well past that now. And so we need a senator who's going to fight for South Carolina. Senator Graham said, over his dead body will we allow an extension of the unemployment benefit. And so therefore, for months now, people have not received a federal benefit to help them as they work through these issues. And that's problematic. Our small businesses don't have the resources that they need. We are 50th in the nation as it relates to PPP dollars for our small businesses. We can do better, and we will do better. We just have to get better leadership.
What do you think about South Carolina's response to COVID, and what can we learn from the pandemic, going forward?
Well, number one, I think the people of South Carolina rose to the occasion. We shut the economy down for about 4 or 6 weeks to kind of flatten the curve. The hospitals now are in good shape. Plenty of PPE equipment for our doctors and nurses. One of the things that I took away is how dependent we are on China for our protective equipment. So I have legislation to bring back the supply chain into the United States. One of the biggest winners will be South Carolina textile community to make the gloves, the gowns, and the mask here in South Carolina. But we are learning to accommodate it. Wash your hands, stay socially distanced the best you can, and wear a mask. I think a vaccine will be later on in the year, and once we get a vaccine, we'll truly have turned the corner.
To see more from Graham and Harrison, go to our Fox Carolina News app or our Fox Carolina YouTube channel. Both candidates answer 14 questions you can watch online and in our newscast. I'll bring you updates on air leading up to Election Day.